Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of the Knitting Hobbit Podcast. My name is Rut, I'm a knitter based in the Netherlands and I share my knitting here. Welcome to my living room. I've swapped around my couch with where my TV was. So we're next to my lovely yellow wall now and I'm really happy with it. It makes the space like over there a lot more open where my couch used to be, so that is really nice. And I have plans to get either bookshelves or like a hanging bookcase on this wall above my couch, because this is now one huge empty wall, and then I can finally get my books back, because my books are still at my parents' house because I don't really have anywhere to store them. I just have my knitting books and some sewing things up here, but no like reading books. I've been using my e-reader or Audible, so yeah, it will be great to get my books back. But let's get into knitting. Today I am wearing my Nordisca. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. I knit this a while back in Filcolana Tilia, not Tilia, that's the mohair, Arvetta, the sock yarn. I cannot remember the colors, but I always link all the Ravelry pages down below. So I have the colors linked over there. I think Arvetta as well, it mainly has like numbers instead of like names. But yeah, it's black and then a light pink and a purple color, and yeah, I love it. The only thing is that I'm thinking of picking up stitches in the black on the body and knitting it a bit longer, because I'm currently wearing leggings with it, but as you can see it is really short, really cropped. Like if I wear a skirt, this is like where my waist is, so it hits right there, and if I do this it goes up, and yeah. So someday I don't know when, but someday I will be picking up the stitches and just making the body a couple centimeters longer, so that it has a bit more of a practical length. Still like sort of cropped, I don't want it to be long, but just a bit longer than it is now, like maybe an inch or two. That would be good, I think. Yeah, next to me on the couch, this is where my fantastic shawl lives. It is huge. I knit this not last year because that's 2022. I knit this in 2021, I believe. I cannot remember when I finished it, but I mainly knitted in 2021. And it was already super big when I was knitting on it, and then I blocked it and it just went humongous. Like the total length of my couch is 2 meters and 20 centimeters, and it easily covers that. Like on either ends I still have like a bit hanging off on the back of the couch, and it reaches all the way down to the seat. So yeah, when I wear it, like I'm 160 tall and it barely doesn't touch the ground, so it's too big for me to practically wear it, but I love it over here. Yeah, it does blend into my yellow wall a bit. When my couch was standing over there, it stood out a bit more. But yeah, and especially in summer, like now in winter, I have a really big fleecy blanket on my couch all the time. But in summer, this is actually a really nice little blanket when you're just a little bit chilly in evenings. So then my really big, thick fleecy blanket will go back into the closet, and then this will be my blanket. But for now, it's just decoration. Let's get into finished objects. I have one finished object, and this has been a whip for over a year. And not that it's big, not at all. It's not big at all. It's a tiny little accessory. But for some reason, I just put it down and I didn't have the motivation to knit on it and to finish it. So I finally did. So these are the Hildras mitts, fingerless mitts by Knitting Traditions by Inga, and I made one modification, which if you know the pattern you can see it immediately. I knit the cuff a lot longer because in the pattern the cuff is to like about here, so it's like that, but I knit it a lot longer because what I really wanted to be able to do is that when I'm wearing them, I can either wear them like this, like when I'm out for a walk or something, so they cover my fingers more. But then if I actually want to be able to use my hands, I can just fold the cuff down and they're practical little fingerless mittens like that. And oh, the other modification I made is I carried the colorwork over to the thumb. In the pattern, the thumb is just the main color, so for me that would be black. But I carried it over because I thought it was easier to just knit the colorwork on the thumb as well, rather than having to carry the floats. And I'm really happy with that decision. What else do I have to say about it? They are really warm because you have the colorwork like on the palm of your hand. It is really nice and thick. I knit this in Rauma Finu, which I think Inga also used when she wrote the pattern. And yeah, really nice and warm. I really love them. Yesterday I wore them while driving my car, and I have some store-bought gloves that I don't like to drive with because they are so soft. They don't really have any grip at all, so I really need to like hold on to my steering wheel, hold on to my what's it called, shift, and when I want to put my blinkers on or something, they just like slide over instead of, so yeah. But with these the Rauma Fino is just a little bit more grippy. It is not as soft as those store-bought gloves. So I can even do like the one-handed steering thing, and yeah, because you still have access to your fingers, like putting on your blinker or something like that is absolutely fine as well. So yeah, really happy with these. I picked them up Friday evening because I wanted to have something simple to work on, and I just had a couple more rows of the little color work. I was already past the thumb, so a couple more rows of the color work and then just the ribbing to go. So that was a really nice and easy project to work on. Finished them yesterday morning. Yesterday was Saturday, and quickly gave them a little soak, let them, the sun was shining absolutely amazingly yesterday. Now it's a bit more gloomy, but yesterday was a super sunny day, so they dried super quick in my windowsill. So yeah, really happy with these. We'll probably be wearing these a lot. Yeah, okay. So then we are on to whips. Which one should I start with? I'll start with this one. This one you've already seen, although I cannot remember how far I was when I showed it to you last time. I'm just gonna put on some needle stoppers so I don't accidentally let all the stitches fall. So this is my test knit for Rebecca from the Crea Bea podcast. This is her Lanark sweater, which is a zipped sweater or zipped jumper, and it's currently inside out. And I'm working away on the sleeve. I'm working on the sleeve decreases. I have put this down for a bit because my hands were tired of the all over texture. So I put this down for a little bit and cast something else on that I'll show you in a little bit, which is a really exciting project. But yeah, so it has this double folded collar, and then it has sort of a dropped shoulder design. And it is in half fisherman's rib or half brioche. So this is what the outside will look like, but I'm knitting it inside out, so the current texture is this. So it's slightly different. The stitches are a bit more defined on the what's supposed to be the outside, currently the inside. I am knitting this in Istex Kant Garn. There is a bit of a debate going on about whether this is a superwash or a non-superwash yarn. I feel like it is a non-superwash because I split splice it really easily, a lot easier than pronouncing that word was. But I've been split splicing all the time, and it's been really easy to do. So I'm thinking non-superwash, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say anything on the ball band, but some websites on their listing of this yarn, they say it's superwash, which is why there's a bit of a discussion about it. But it's 100% merino wool from Istex, so it's from the company that makes Let Lopi, Alafos Lopi, Proto Lopi, all of the nice rustic yarns that everybody loves. At least the people that love rustic yarns tend to love the Lopi yarns. And this feels like quite like a workhorse merino yarn, and I'm really loving working with this. And then with that is going to be, I've decided, last podcast I shared that I was still not sure which shipper I wanted to use because I have a silver one and a rose gold one. And I picked the rose gold. So this is black too, so it will look like this, but just little rose gold zipper standing out. And I think it will look really cool, like a little pop of something. So yeah, I took a little break from this, but I'm going to be picking this up again this afternoon. I am going to a friend's and we're having a little knitting date, which I'm really looking forward to. And because it does have all over texture, but it's not too, like I can talk while knitting on this. I'll be taking this with me to get some mileage on the sleeve. And I think if I have the first sleeve done and I'll know how much yarn that takes, then I'll continue on the body and then do the second sleeve. Because I took quite a bit of a break on this, I'm now scared that I won't finish it on time, even though I still have a month. And a month for me to finish a jumper when it's already like at this point. It should be plenty, but the texture just feels really slow, even though it doesn't go that slow. It feels really slow, which is making me scared that I won't finish it on time, and I don't want to disappoint Rebecca. So yeah, I'll probably will. Like this week I'm going to focus on this again, and the sleeve should be done within a week, and then I can get going on the body. And yeah, I think we'll be fine. But just in case we don't, I know how much a sleeve takes. So if I finish the sleeve and the body, I know I can still give my yardage and everything like that. But also we're in a group chat, and there's a couple people that have just joined in around underneath the sleeves, like literally just this week, a couple days ago. And I'm a bit further than that, so I feel like compared to them, I should be fine. But there's also someone that has already finished, which is insane. That was super, super quick. But yeah, I'm really excited to have this done. It will be a super practical, really nice jumper that I'm looking forward to have. Yeah, Lanark jumper, Lanark sweater, I'm not sure which way she's calling it. Lanark by Rebecca Clow from the Creative Podcast. And then I have another test knit going. This one I will not be finishing on time, and I've already messaged the designer, and I'm just taking a break from it. I want to finish my Lanark first. That to me has a bit of priority. And then after that I'll be picking this one back up. So this is a test knit for Irene Lin, and I thought I signed up for a test knit that was due in May, which I thought was a really long time, but I thought that's good because then I can finish my Lanark, and then after that I can get this going. But it wasn't May. The dates were written the American way. So that is month first, then day, instead of day, month. So instead it was due the 5th of February, which is just not going to happen. But I've made peace with it. This one is just on a little bit of a hibernation, and I will definitely get this done later. So this is the test knit that I forgot the name of, but I will be also linking this down below. Another, this one is broken fisherman's rib. Is that what you would call that? Because half fisherman's rib is one round of normal ribbing and then one round of doing the knitting one below. But this is broken because it's one round of knitting and then one round of doing the fisherman's. So I think this would be called broken half fisherman's rib. And I'm doing it the brioche way because that is easier to me. So also here I'm working on the sleeve. These will be a bit of balloony sleeves. I think, were there some decreases? I cannot remember. I don't think so. No. Yeah, this is a normal raglan. Don't really have too much to say about it because it's pretty like a basic raglan jumper. But it does have this little detail around all the cuffs, which I think is really nice because it gives a bit of a transition between this kind of rib and this kind of rib. This is just normal 1x1 rib. So yeah, I do like it. Not really loving it. I'm not sure if this color suits me. I think it does, but yeah. I actually did one of those color choosing, not choosing, like the little website where you put up a picture of your face and you like select your skin tone, you select your eye color and your hair color, and it will give you like a color palette of colors that should suit you really well. And this color, both of these actually were in it. So if that thing is right, this should suit me really well and the black should suit me less, but I personally don't really see the difference. I don't think I have like an eye for it or something like that, but if you do, tell me. I don't know. Yeah, besides that, I really forgot the name, but it will be linked down below, and if I edit this, which I'm not sure I will, then I'll put it in, of course. Then I have a third whip. Oh, this yarn! I've totally forgot about the yarn. Oh god, I'm losing all of my stitches. That is not great. I don't have any more needle stoppers here. Okay, the yarn. This yarn I bought at Etna. It is the Svarta Farret Ulrika Natuur, which is 100% pure wool. 50 grams is 100 meters. And that is the same weight as Let Lopi. So these are the colors I'm using. I'll link them down below because they are numbers. But I have to say, I won't hold them against the yellow wall, but against the white so you can see them properly. I have to say, if you have been wanting to knit a Let Lopi sweater, but Let Lopi is too itchy for you, try out this yarn. If you're fine with wool, because it's not... I have a bit of a runny nose, I'm sorry. It is not like super soft. It's not merino, but it's like, it's up there. I swear it's up there. It's just a tiny little bit rough. But it's definitely up there on the soft side of for 100% natural wool. So yeah, I really, really recommend this if you want an alternative for Let Lopi. I think this would really work great. And I'm actually thinking, because I do love Let Lopi, and I love my Lopi sweaters. But I think it would be nice to have some softer ones as well. And of course, I'm not really doing color work, but I think they're still like rough enough to have your color work come out really, really nicely. So yeah, and I really love this color. I'm thinking if I'm gonna get this yarn again, I might get more in this color to make a garment out of it, because it is so gorgeous. It is a brown, but you have all these different tones of color in there. And I'm obsessed, which I usually not am, with brown, but I really, really like this one. I think it's super pretty. Maybe it might be a bit comparable to the whole Supersoft cinnamon. That's also a brown with a lot of different like hues of color in it. So yeah, that is that project, which is going over here in Hibernation. Then I have one more thing I want to talk about, but that is for Dutch people. So I've been thinking if I want to do a separate video or put it in here, but I think I'm going to put it in here and then just explain it in English. Talk about it in English, because I have some yarns that I want to talk about, and I have a project that I want to talk about, and of course I want everybody to maybe get inspired, or maybe join in or something like that. So I'm gonna grab the yarn that I want to talk about, and I'll see you in a second. So I just realized I forgot to talk about whip, so I'll be doing that now. In here, in this bucket, I have a project that I have been wanting to cast on for forever, and I finally did it. So I was knitting on the Lanark sweater and the other sweater, and I just wanted to break from the texture. I was just done with the texture for a minute, and I needed something different. Taking a sip of water, sorry. Before we get into a coughing fit that we don't want. And I looked at the yardages needed. I'm just being stared down by a pigeon. I'm sorry, there's like a tree behind my window and a pigeon is sitting on a branch and he's just like staring at me. Anyway, I'm really distracted today. I saw that for the main color, for my size, you need about 110 grams or 120 grams. But all the other ones were underneath 100 grams. So I thought, I can do that from stash. I have so many single skeins of yarn. So many. And I just grabbed all of them together. I put them out all on my dining table. And I tried to make a color palette. And it took me all weekend. Like, it took me 2 hours. I put the color work chart into an Excel sheet. And I colored all of the boxes in a similar color to the yarn I had. It was kind of hard to do, but I managed. And that way I tried to figure out how to, where to place certain colors. But then when I started knitting it, I found out that some color combinations weren't working together. So I did some duplicate stitching with a new color over it. By the end of the weekend, I started this little project on Saturday afternoon. And by the end of Sunday, I was super happy with what I had. I had it all figured out and off we went. So without further ado, after firstly finished, this is the Chestnut cardigan by Marie Wallin. Doesn't it just look amazing? I have no clue how much I'm going to wear this because it is so busy and so bright, but I love it. I love working on this so much. So like I said, the first sleeve is finished. I can see if I can put it on over this. A little bit. It's like trying to hang on to the jumper that I'm wearing. There we go. I did this. This was always a project for me. Like, if I'm able to do this, I really made it as a knitter. Then I can officially like knit. Look at it. Oh my god. This is just something that I'm so incredibly proud of. And yeah, the length is even great. I'm always afraid that sleeves are going to be too long, but the length is great. And it's like my armpit is right here, so it'll probably fall down a little bit. But that's great because I love it when jumpers cover my hands to about here. It just makes them a bit more cozy. And yes, I'm thinking of making this a jumper instead of a cardigan. I have seen some projects on Ravelry where people made it a jumper instead of a cardigan, and I fell in love. And I think because it's so busy, I won't be wearing it as a cardigan much anyway, because then I need a plain like black t-shirt underneath it, and I have like one or two of those. So that's not a lot. So that doesn't give me many chances to wear it. So I think as a jumper, just with some jeans under it, it would be a little bit more wearable for how much this can be wearable. But I've had so much fun knitting it, and I've knit this sleeve in a week exactly. I finished it this morning, and last week I cast it on, so that's insane. But now this is going to be going on a bit of a break because I have to focus on the Lanark. So yeah, but it's great because now I know that if that texture tires me out again, I can get going on the second sleeve, and I know what to do. I've got all my colors sorted. Yeah, and I'm also really proud because this top section, I still have to weave in the ends, but this top section, you have to knit flat. And I'm so proud of how good that colorwork looks. I have never before knitted colorwork flat. And just look at that. That looks so good. This is just a project that is purely for the process. Because like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to be wearing it, but I'm just absolutely loving it. So yeah, let's talk through all of these yarns. In my big buckets, let's start off with the one that you need a bit more than 100 grams of. So that is the one that is like all throughout the ribbing, and then it's the background of this one, but it's in the beginning and the end of the colorwork of this one. And is it anywhere else? Oh yeah, it's in the little crosses in this one. So that is Holst Supersoft or Trollewool. It's the same yarn, but I got it at Trollewool. In the color Sugar Snap. I used this in my twist and turns and I had a lot left over. So a bit more than 100 grams, and Holst Supersoft runs a bit more anyway. It has a bit more meters per weight. So this is the color that I chose for that. So there you can see it. Then you needed one that comes not together with it, but after it quite a couple times. So I thought to get another pink. So I have this yarn. This is, if I remember correctly, this is from Mina Dye Works from Sticks and Cups in Utrecht here in the Netherlands. Oh, it's blowing out a lot. It's a bit lighter than that. Wait, let me see. It's blowing out so much. It's not giving light like it looks like on the camera. Yeah, I can't really get it right with the light. Oh well. It's a bit slightly darker pink, slightly brighter, not as bright as on camera. So in these, you can see that is Holst, and then that is the second color in between the very bright pink and Holst Supersoft. So you can see it's just a little bit brighter and just a bit more pink. And then my absolute favorite color of this is this one. And yes, this one is that bright. It's not like neon, but it's bright. And I love it. So, that's just the bright pink. The bright pink in here, the bright pink at the beginning and the end of this, the bright pink in the middle of this. Absolutely love this color. This is just random skeins from my stash, and some had tags and some didn't. I think this is from the Wol met Verf Summer Club, but I'm not 100% sure. I think so, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that is the bright pink. Then I think this is also from the same, also from Wol met Verf, but I'm not sure. It is this really cool dark purple. It is slightly tonal. As you can see, there is a couple different tones. And that is, of course, the background for this section. And then it is also a little tiny stripe. Oh wait, that's where, this is a prettier side. The other side is where I have to, like the beginning of round is. So it's that little tiny stripe in that. Also love that. Then I have a yellow. The yellow is in the middle over here. And in these little ziggy zags. Honestly, don't know what this is. It was just like this. I weighed it. It was fine for what I needed. I think this might be Atelier Sopra. It might be... No, it's not in here. I thought it might be this one, but it's not. That one is much more golden. I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I remember when I got this yarn, I got another shade of yellow, which I loved a little bit less, and that was this. I think. So that should be Atelier Sopra. Then I have some Handspun. This I did use in here. It is over here. This little section. And it is at the top over here in this section. And it is at the end over there. I think that's all the places. Yeah, should be. So this is a Handspun, and it has some orange, it has some pinks, and it is the background of this. And that's it. It was supposed to be also in here, I think, but I think together with the yellow. I can't really remember. Or it was in here instead of the blue. I think it was instead of the blue, but that contrast just didn't work out. So I took it out there and put blue in. And this is a blue mystery yarn. I think I got this from Etna in their like little promo box where they sent a couple of different yarns. I think this was in there. And I think this is technically a sport weight, not a fingering weight, but it's working out absolutely fine. And then I have two Filcolana Arvetta. This one is the leftover dark purple from here. And this one, I think I made the school run mittens from this. So the white is a little stripe in here and a little stripe in here. And then the purple is the middle in here and on the edges in here. That is all of the yarn. Now I have to put it all back. Yeah, huge project. Will take my time with it, enjoying it. No clue when this is going to be finished. I think I will make it a jumper. Yeah, I think I've said all I need to say about this. So, yeah. So you may not be able to see it, but I have a lap full of yarn now, which is really nice. Instead of a cat, I have yarn. A couple of weeks ago, Etna, the yarn store from Sweden, they contacted me if I wanted to join in with like organizing and promoting a knit along that they were wanting to do, which in Dutch we're calling the Winterklaar Breien maar. knit along, and that is like winter ready or winter done knit along. Time to knit. I can't really translate it well. It works in Dutch but not in English. So the thought is that if we start now in February with a big colorwork jumper, then it will be ready, and we like put it in 10 parts. Then it will be ready before December next year, when winter is starting up again over here in the Netherlands. And yeah, they asked me if I wanted to join, and I wanted to share about the knit along and knit along as well. And of course I said yes, because I absolutely love Edna's yarn. Like, they've gifted me stuff before, but I've also bought there myself before, because I do really enjoy their yarns. The yarns from both Testknits actually I got from there, when I bought and when I got gifted. The camp yarn I got gifted, which was really, really nice of them. So yeah, I'm honestly a fan, and so when they ask me for something like this, of course I say yes. I'm more than happy to join in and have fun with this knit along. Now, if you're Dutch and if you're participating, we do have a group chat on Instagram that I set up, but the chat is completely in Dutch, so I'm sorry if you don't speak Dutch, but yeah, we're not going to be changing the language of the chat, because for me that might be easy, but for some other people that might not. And since this is a Dutch knit along, we're going to keep the chat Dutch. But if you're Dutch and you're like, hey, I want to join and I'm not in that group chat, leave a comment down below, or better yet, message me on Instagram, because then I can add you in. All I need is your Instagram handle and I can add you in. So message me on Instagram. I am called, if you don't follow me, I'm called the Knitting Hobbit over there as well. And I also always have my Instagram link down below in the description box. So yeah, we're knitting a jumper in 10 parts, so to have it ready for December. And when she initially contacted me about it, she was talking about the festive yoke sweater by Skeindeer. But if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I have test knitted that as a cardigan, and I don't really need another one, because I feel like it's wearable for such a short amount of time. And I don't really wear it that much, so I love it. The fit is great and everything. Like, the pattern is absolutely amazing. I just don't wear it that much because it is so much of like a wintry cardigan. Anyway, so I was like, I would love to join, but I don't want to knit that. So if I could knit something different, then I would love to join. And then we decided to just open a knit along up. I think everybody's still doing a colorwork jumper, because that is just very wintry. It's something with colorwork, I feel like it just gives you all the cozy feels. And so Barbara suggested the Saga cardigan from Jarbo, which is a free pattern from Jarbo. And yeah, I got to choose the colors that I wanted and I got them gifted. But again, I'm free to say whatever I want to say about these yarns. So if I hate them, I can tell you that, but I don't, so that's good. So these are my colors that I'm going to be using for the Saga cardigan. So I'm going to be casting this on next week, and I somehow will have to try to squish the pattern into 10 parts. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna, it's like, it has stripes of color work. And, oh, I completely forgot to talk about one whip. I will put that in before this. I will edit and put that in before this one. Just had the realization. We'll do a bit of time traveling in this video. Yeah, it's a striped cardigan, so it has stripes of color work. And I counted the stripes, and I think in total, like with counting the ribbing as sort of a stripe, in total I got to about 20 stripes. So I think I will just be doing 2 stripes every month. And I'll have to like recount and, you know, have a look. But I think about 2 every month. But that does mean that 1 month I will be done really quickly, as it will be 2 stripes on the sleeve, and then 1 month I'll be done less quickly because it will be like on the yoke or on the body. But I figured that will be fine. I am not a maths person. I cannot do it. Really bad at it. I'm not gonna calculate anything. I just counting the stripes. Got to 20. I was like, okay, that's great to get like for 10 months, because that will be too. So yeah, these are my colors. Now the background of the body will mainly be, this is an extra skein, so I'll put that one aside. But the body will mainly be these 2 colors. So does it have a color name on it? It did have color names on the website. I don't know, is Farg the color? It ends on 103. It's the lightest like white beigey color that they have. And then I got this color to pair with it. This one ends on 120, the number. And it's the Jarbo Toetraad Oel. I feel like you pronounce it as Oel. I don't know, I'm sorry if I butcher it. And it is pure wool, so it's 100% natural Swedish yarn. I think it's from Swedish sheep as well, but I'm not sure, it doesn't say it on here. And then it has a little pop of color in the color work. For that I will be using this gorgeous dark red. I think the name of this was something with cherry. This color name ends in 122. So this will be mainly the cardigan, but this design has a little pop of color around all the edges of the cardigan. So you do your ribbing, that will be the beige for me. So you do beige ribbing, and then it has a little, I think it's crocheted, but I feel like I will do an I-cord edging on it. Pick up the stitches and do a long I-cord around all of the ribbing. And for that, I chose this brighter orange. So it is really close to that one. It's just a bit more bright. And I think this will give it a little nice pop. So yeah, that is my plan. So this cardigan should be coming back into the podcast every month until December, when it should be done. We'll see how much restraint I have in putting it down, because the color work looks like a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it. So maybe if you don't speak Dutch, you got inspired by it, you can still do a cardigan or a jumper in color work, and also do it like, what do you call it? Like throughout 10 months, and have it done before winter. And if you're Dutch and you want to join the group chat, message me on Instagram, or leave your Instagram handle down below here and tell me that you want to join, because I won't just randomly be putting people in. Tell me specifically that you want to join, and I will put you in the group chat. So yeah, yarn. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you're working on. I always love the inspiration. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.